The first thing you need to do is you need to go to aplusstudents.com. You need to go to the website. Once you're on the website, you select math as your subject. This is a grade 6, sorry, I'll just change the side. This is a grade 6 maths lesson, and the name of the topic is two-dimensional figures, right? Shapes that has 2 dimensions. Let me give you the chapter number and the lesson number. So the chapter number is 30 and the lesson number is 11. And the name of the lesson is lines, line segments, and we would be looking at rays. What is the difference between a line? Hi, Brighty. Hi, Ashik. Welcome to the class. We will be looking at line segments, and rays. Let's go to the topic. Grade 6. Chapter number 30. Sorry. And lesson number 11. Before I start, I will give you an explanation what basically is the difference between the line, rays, and segments. Okay, so we can say a line. Okay, the line is okay, I'll give the definition, then I'll write. A line extends indefinitely. Right, in both the directions. In both directions. Indefinitely means a line can extend as much as we want it to extend. That means a line will have, if this is a line, the line will have arrows on either sides. Okay, this is a representation of a line. Okay, if we say we draw a line, that means the line, it's our choice how long the line would be. Okay, the next option is line segment. So let's say, what is a line segment? A line segment cannot have indefinite, right? So we say that a line segment, segment means a part of a line, has distinct points. That means starting point, starting and ending point. So if we would want to draw a line segment, what we can say is, if we have a line very similar to the line segment would be very similar. The only difference would be that the line has extensions, whereas a line segment would have a starting point and an ending point. That's the difference. Okay, let's look about what is a ray. Let's look what is a ray. When we are considering rays, what we say is a ray has one fixed point. A ray has one fixed point. That means it has a starting point, and the other point is other end, sorry, and the other end is indefinite. Other end is infinite. That means if I draw a line and we want to see what's the difference, the line has one starting point, the ray has one starting point and has arrow on the other side. So the difference between a line segment, okay, are we clear on this? What's the difference between a line segment and a ray? A line can be extended infinitely, okay, indefinitely. Line segment means it's a distance between 2 points, and ray would mean it has a starting point. Let's suppose if you have a torch, right? So the light can fall infinitely, right? You can see a lot of things, but there is a starting point of the light, right? That means the ray has a starting point and it can go indefinitely, okay? So once we can differentiate, sorry, so if we can differentiate between the line segment and ray, we'll consider the questions now and let's see what are the possibilities that we have for the questions, okay? Do we agree on this? Are we on the same page? Okay. So they're asking us, what is the name of this figure in the question? Okay. So the question number 1 says, what is the name of this figure? If this is given to us, what should it be? Can we see in question number 1, can we see arrows on either ends? Whenever we have arrows on either ends, what can we say? And it had 2 points on it. So we can say I and J is a line, not a line segment, right? Because it has arrows on either ends. Agreed? Any question? Yes, thank you, Ashik. Thank you, Brightly. Okay, the next question we have is, it says, what is the name of this figure in the next question? Okay, just a moment, let me copy this. For question number 2, it says, what is the name of the figure in the next question? Okay, this is our question number 2. So we can see that there is a dot in this. Dot means there's a starting point and there's another dot, right? That means one of them would be starting point and one of them would be an ending point. So what we can say over here is X and Y. See, line, segment and ray, they all are lines. Ashik, which question are you talking about? Question number 1 or question number 2? You said line. Is it question number 1 or is it question number 2? Can you tell me which question are you talking about so that I would know? Yes, thank you. So we can say XY is a part of a line, right? A fixed distance. So we say for a fixed distance, that is a line segment. Thank you. Moving ahead to the next question. For the next question, it says, what is the name of this given figure? Just a moment, please. This is our question number 3. Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you. So if this was our question number 3, and they have this picture over here, can we see a starting point that is a dot, and we can see an arrow in question number 3? So what we can say over here is, and we are given 2 points on the line. So whenever we have a starting point Oh, yeah, thank you. I understand. Thank you, Ashik. Let's focus on question number 3. In question number 3, what happens is we have one dot. Yes, thank you, Brighty. So we can say EF is a ray because it has a starting point. Yes, it has a it, it has a starting point. On the other side, it has an arrow. That means it can continue for as long it's needed, but with a starting point. Okay. So let's go for question number 4. Okay, thank you. In question number 4, what is the name of this given figure where we have this information given to us? Okay, if this is our question number 4, what we can see is we have arrow on one of the sides and we have arrow on either sides. So if we have an arrow on either sides, it is known as yes, thank you. Why is it ray? Or why is it a line? Because in a line, the line can be extended indefinitely, right? So what we can say is there is no starting point for a line. If I asked you to move in a line, right? So that means you can move as much as you want in either direction, but you'll still be moving on the line, right? But if I tell you to move this line segment, that means from this point to that point. So we can say WX is a line. Okay, thank you. Okay, you don't have to write the complete statement, just write WX. Yes, just simply write WX is a line. Okay. Yes, that's perfectly correct. There are arrows on both sides. For the next question, it says, what is the name of this figure? And the choices, the question given is question number 5. And we can say if this is something like this, okay, it might be a little blur. I'll refinalize this. There's a dot over here. There's a dot over here. This is our question number 5. With fixed distance, right? Whenever there is two dots, that means we are bound between those two dots. So we can say that J and K, we always try to follow the alphabetical, right? I can write KJ, but I would recommend we follow alphabetical. JK is a part of the line, and whenever we say a part of the line, we say segment. Thank you. Okay. Yes, K. Oh no, I just said JK, alphabetical. JK, KJ is also perfectly correct, right? But when we label any diagrams, we prefer doing it. Okay. Yeah, it's okay. We just keep that in mind. Next time onwards, alphabetical order. JK. Okay. Thank you. Oh, you're done over here. It's not a big problem. We can always make our own, right? We can make hundreds of questions. Not a problem, okay? So if I say in question number 6, we have a line which has arrow and a dot. Thank you, Princely. Thank you. Thank you, Ashik. Thank you, Princely. Princely, if we understand the concepts, we are never restricted with the questions, right? We can always create questions. Even you as a student, once you understand the concept, You make a line and you have three choices: make arrows on both the sides, make dots on both the sides, or you can make one dot and one arrow. So if I would say, very similar to question number 6, just a moment, I'll just show you an example. Okay, let's make this question number 7. Okay, so what difference I can do over here is, rather than this, I can put a dot over here. So it's a different question now, right? So what we can say is, in question number 6, what we can say in question number 6, it is when we have one dot and one arrow, that means it has a starting point. In question number 6, it has a starting point A, and B shows an arrow, that means it can be extended. So what should be the line AB? What should be the line AB in question number 6? Prinsley, what should be the line? Yes, thank you, Brighty. We can say AB is a ray because it's not ending. Similarly, if you move ahead, we look at CD. CD, we know that it's a fixed distance between 2 points. And whenever we say it's a fixed distance, we say CD is a line, right? Yes, line segment. I understand it is very easy just to differentiate between the three types of lines, but we need to do this because in the later topics we would be using this very frequently, and that would be just to identify, would not be the main part of the question, right? Okay, moving ahead, let's say question number 7. Okay, if I would say in question number 7, we still have this. What is the name of this figure? X and W. Okay, this is question number 7. WX is, I'll look at all three possibilities, okay? We are looking at all three possibilities. In this case, what I'm trying to do is I'll remove this part. And in this case, I'll just remove either of these. So now we have three different questions, okay? What about question number 7? What about question number 7? WX, we can say, can we see arrows on either sides? We can see arrow on one side and we can see dots on. So what about WX? What is WX? Anything that is between 2 points, right? Anything that was between 2 points had a fixed distance. That was lines. Okay, thank you. Question 7. WX is a line because it does not have bounds. Okay. Then question number 8. We say it has a starting point W, but it does not have an ending point. So in question number 8, WX is a, yes, it is a ray. Agreed? And in question number 9, Wx should be, because it is a fixed distance. So it would be a line, this line segment. I'll just write, why is it a line segment? Fixed distance between two points. Okay, if I would change the question, yes, perfect. If I would change the question, if we have question number 7, question number 8, and question number 9, in which question can you find the distance? Fixed, like if I would say W and X were the 2 points, right? So in which question can you find the distance, and which question you cannot find the distance? For question number 9, because you have this, let's suppose if I say this was the starting point and this was the ending point, right? That means when you have the starting, initial, and the final point, then you can find the distance, right? So only in the case of line segment you can find the distance. Okay, I'll give you an example of a ray. We usually use the word ray for a ray of light, right? And we know this, in our solar system the light originates from the sun, right? Other objects usually deflect light, okay, or reflect. So when the sun emits light, so we have the starting point over here, right? That would be the starting point. Agreed? So from the sun, the light moves. The light reaches our planet. The light reaches other planets also, right? So yes, that means in question number 8, if W was the sun that is giving away the ray of light, that means the light, in this case, the light can each reach the Earth, right? It can reach Mars. It can go to Jupiter, right? So it can go infinite. I don't know where the light would reach the furthest, right? Because it can travel through a vacuum. For Wx, it means if you say on my east and on my west, right? So you're not defining how much on your east and how much on your west. That means in question number 7, when we are drawing a line, we say we cannot find. See, we know that the equator of the earth is a line, right? Because earth is a spherical object. But if I say the same equator for the universe, if we don't know the height, the size of the universe, then the center line of the universe would be infinite. Okay, let's move ahead. Let's look at more examples. Let's consider a few more examples. Okay, I will try to do similar. Then we would do the questions from the test. I don't know how many questions are there in the test, so that we would keep on doing more practice questions. Okay, so let's do it again. Question number 10. Okay, this is our question number 10. I'll make another copy. Question number 11 and another copy, that is question number 12. Let me highlight this first. Question number 10, question number 11, and question number 12. Okay, for question number 10, I would say let's define this and let's define this. If over here there are 2 points, in this case the line is extended even though there were 2 points, and in the third case the line is extended even when there were 2 points on the line. But when it's extended, we say it has an arrow on either sides. So what is question number 10? Why is it Ashik, you said it's a line segment. How can you be sure it's a line segment? Your answer is correct, right? It is a line segment. But how can we be sure? Like, what is the reason? Let's suppose if you are teaching someone else, you're saying that question number 10, XY is a line segment. How can you say it's a line segment? Yes, your answers are perfectly correct. But now I want the reason from you people, right? Prinsley, how, and Ashik, how can we say that this is a line segment? Why do we say this is a line segment? If you need to explain to someone, your answer is correct. X and Y is a line segment in question number 10. Yes. Or you said it does not go infinite. Some people might not understand what is infinite, right? So what we say is, yes, that is a perfect. It has a starting point and an ending point. Or X and Y is formed between two fixed points, right? Thank you. So we say XY in the first case is a line segment, right? We will be using the term segment in circles also. That means fixed. Okay. The second question says one point is fixed. That means originates and the light keeps on moving. And for the light, we use the term ray. Agreed? So question number 11, XY is forming is a ray. What about, we have the distance X and Y, right? The labeling 2 points on a line. But what happens is, okay, what happens over here is the line is extended beyond the points. Okay. Yes, thank you. And what about the last one, Righty? Yes, very good. And the last one, XY is a line because they have not told us from where to where, right? So that means it can extend endlessly. Okay, just give me a minute, please. I will see how many questions are there in the test. If we have more than enough questions, we'll do the test. If we have less, no, we have very less questions in the test. Let's do one set of more questions, okay? So that we revise this, because there is nothing more to be done in this unless and until these lines and rays are combined together to form new shapes. Okay, so let's see if this question was given to us. I'll just make a few copies. Sorry. After this, I'll do, okay, after these questions, we'll do the test. Question number 13, question number 14, and question number 15. If I say that this is extended, this is extended, extension is removed, okay, and extension is removed, okay. So what about the first question, question number 13? Yeah, it's okay. It's okay, Ashik. As long you understand, it's perfectly fine, right? So in question number 13, since it says, we can always see question number 12 and 13 would be very similar, right? Because it's a infinite line. There is no starting point, there is no ending point, even though the line has 2 points marked on it, I and j. So we can say that ij is a indefinite line. Okay. Question number 14. Yes. What about question number 14? It has a starting point, but no ending point, right? So ij is a ray because this is the starting point, but no ending point. So we'll try to remember this with a ray of light, right? What about question number 15? Johan, welcome. Johan, what we are doing is we are differentiating between a line, ray, and line segment, right? The line has arrows on both the sides. It can be extended indefinitely. A ray has a starting point, but on the other side, it does not have an ending point. What about question number 15? Johan, what do you say about question number 15? What is the name of this shape, this line? What is the shape? What is the name of this line in question number 15? Brighty, Ashik, anyone else? Let's help Johan understand. You put a question mark. Ashik, you're saying question number 15, ij is a line, and you put a question mark. You're asking me, right? Why would you do that? Is it not line? Is it not a line segment? Is it a line or a line segment? Because it has arrows. See. No, we don't have to help anyone. See, sometimes it's like when we are helping others to solve and understand, basically we are not helping them in general, we are helping ourselves by revising, right? Okay, we should. Helping someone out means we are revising. Okay, see what I okay, see, listen, let's look at the question. What I did in this was I was supposed to make all three possibilities, right? Frame. For question number 13, I was supposed to make it a line. For question number 14, I was supposed to make it a ray. And question 15 should have been a line segment between fixed points. But what I did was, I did not change question number 15. Question number 15 is exactly the same as question number 13, right? But in our minds was that the first value should be a line, the second should be a ray, and the last one should be a line segment. Agreed? That is what our expectation was. But I did not change the question. I did not remove this part. I did not remove this part, right? And if I did not remove this part, this question stays the same. It is a line. Agreed? So sometimes what no problems, okay, Johan? Let's have a look over here. Okay, see, it's a line actually, okay? Prem, do we agree? Question number 13 and question number 15 up till now. Prem, focus here. Question number 13 and question number 15 are exactly the same. I did this to check whether we are focusing or not. Okay, so let's do this. Let's amend the question. Let's look at the third option. So what should be the third option if I make changes to it? Now we can say, now what we can say is ij is a line, sorry, ij is a line segment. Okay. Thank you, Brighty. Johan, the difference between these three categories, right? What we are trying to study today is just these three. Okay, we'll revise so that you can have a better understanding too. We have done this multiple times. Yes, now it's a line segment because I removed the arrows. Johan, I'm repeating it for you. If the line has no ending points, okay, that means if the line has arrows on both the sides, we call it a line. Okay. If we have one starting point and arrow at the other end, it is a ray. And if we have fixed distance between 2 points, then it would be a line segment. Okay. These are the only three categories we need to remember. Now let's go to the test and let's try some questions from the test. Okay. So I'll begin with the test. There are only few questions, 5 questions I think. Okay. So what is the name of this figure? Okay, I will have to change the options because the options will confuse you. If this is a question given, I would need to change the options. Okay, don't worry about the options which are given. This is our question number 1 from the test. Okay, so let's say if this was given to us, this diagram is given to us, they're asking us ijji, it has to be ij, right? I told you already that it has to be alphabetical. It cannot be ji, right? So what we can say is, I'll just change the options over here so that we can see what are the possibilities. Just a moment, please. I'll add 3 options. ij in this case can be 3 options were a line, can be a line segment, or array, right? So what is ij? Yes, if it was given as ij, ij would be perfect, right? So can we say ij is a line, ij is a line segment, or ij is an array? Which one is correct? Which is correct? ij, okay. ij means, yes, it is a line because it does not have a, because infinite, right? Thank you. So let's do the next question. The next question says, okay, what they're asking us is, what is the name of this figure? For question number 2, I'll reuse question number 2. For question number 2, they're asking us, what is the name of this figure? When they're asking us the name, okay, let's look at the name for question number 2. XY or YX? What should be the name? What should be the name? The name should always be in alphabetical order. Right? So that we know. Okay. XY. Ashik, it has to be XY. Because X comes before Y. Right, Brighty? Okay. So we would say the name is XY. Because it always has to stay alphabetical order. Okay. Agreed? So I would simply mark XY over here. No YX. Ashik, it cannot be YX. It has to be XY. Because X comes before Y in the alphabetical order. I changed the question, right? Because we only have 4 or 5 questions. I'm changing the question. We follow. No, I'm not asking right now. The options do not have those options over here, right? We cannot see whether it's a line segment or anything. That is the next question I'll be doing. I did not ask yet whether it's a line segment or what, right? So let's do that in question number 3. We have to follow the options. If the options were X, Y, and Y, X, okay? If the options were X, Y, and Y, X, then we just label the alphabets, but in alphabetical order, right? But if they have different options and they're asking us, what is the name of this line, this segment or this shape, right? This figure. Then in this, the next question we have to see is, could it be a line? A line is indefinite, right? A line segment or a ray? Ray is starting point and continuous. But we can say that in question number 3, the point X and Y are, yes, it is a line segment. Okay. So depending on our requirement for the question, we would give the answer depending on the options available. In question number 2, the options were not line segment, and ray. The options were the alphabetical arrangement. So we follow the alphabetical arrangement. In question number 3, it said out of these 3 options, which is a possible type of the shape. So we give the possible type. Okay, line segment. Thank you, Brighty. Let's have a look at another question. Okay, for the next question, it says, just a moment, let me copy. I would change this, right? I will change the options. Please wait for me to change the options. I need to make some changes. Okay. So sorry. If I would say this was EF, F, and let's say if I would say there is another option, okay, we had another option that was this, and this was FE, let's suppose. So we have 3 options as the answer, and this is only F. Can we say the answer for question number 4 is F? See, we cannot say F. F is a single point. A single point, right? A single point cannot make a line. See, what happens is if this point was F, so we don't know which direction we need to go from F, right? A single point will never define a line. A single point cannot make a line segment. A single point cannot make the ray. It's like you're holding a torch, but the torch is not on. So you do not even have a ray of light. But when we need to give the name, we always use alphabetical, that is EF. Agreed? Okay, let's do this question again and let's just see what were the options quickly. Let's complete this and let's see with the options what are the possibilities. Okay, so if I would say these are the possibilities, I'll remove these options and I would say it could be a line segment or array, right? So what is it? What can we say is it? Sorry. In question number 5, what is EF? In EF, we can see there is only one arrow. That means it has a starting point. Yes, perfect. That means it is a ray. Because yes, righty, it is a ray. EF is a ray in question number 5. Option number 3. Perfect. Okay. Sorry. So I hope for now we can easily differentiate between a line. What is a line? Which has arrows on both the sides. A line segment, distance between two fixed points, and array means starting point and going in the opposite direction, undefined, right? So this was the main focus of today's lesson, how to differentiate between lines, line segment, and rays. Okay, we did the test questions. They are very easy. Just please try them again so that you have a better practice. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, thank you for your time. Best of luck. Take care. Have a nice day. Bye.